This is the Hardballgets AFL show. My name's Nick Rinn, joined by Xavier Ellis and Ryan Daniels. Gentlemen, what's going on?
What's going on, Xav?
I'm going early, actually. Cutting the corner on Conspiracy Corner. Where have you been the last hour?
I've been at my desk, just working hard, doing my hacking.
What phone have you been using?
My normal phone.
I'm going to put it to you that you hacked Tom Morris's Twitter.
You wouldn't be the first person to come at me with that accusation this morning.
And?
As if I have the skill set required to hack a Twitter account.
That is the only
Okay, but but someone here at 7 West would have the skill.
So you're
and then might just slip the old password over. Thank you, Nick, too. I'm just sliding over 3 stickers.
Streamer stickers.
The kids will love that.
Yeah, thank you. So your theory is that I went to our IT department in 7 or the West and said, I need you to take care of something for me.
Yep.
They then go in, hack Tom Morris, take down his account for, roughly an hour.
Yep.
And that was my big plan.
So that was it.
That was it.
Well, no, you've mined his
Don't
DMs.
credit yourself too much. What else are we going to add to it?
He's mined his DMs for lead. He's now got a spreadsheet of potential yarns.
So now the next 10
because he's going to, he's going to have a tip in Melbourne now.
Stories are going to be just
all Melbourne-based scoops.
Right.
I mean, the bloke tweeted about a hamstring once in WA, and you're doing this stuff now. It's outrageous.
Well, let that be a warning to the rest of them.
I
come
still-
over the border.
I still find
the
the battle.
cops at Euclid have been notified. They know to watch out for him.
I still find the battle intriguing.
It's not a
Daniels, Morris.
It's not a battle. But
He's coming down to the contract.
It's not a battle,
isn't it?
but if it were a battle, it's going to be hard for him to tweet without an account, isn't it? No. Let's put out some theories here, because the one that is being brought up, which is gold, is that Bevo has spent the last 2 years learning how to hack,
learning how to
accounts.
code.
Yeah.
So the list of if you were a police officer
Yep.
and you were putting up names on a board,
Bevo
would be your first picture on the whiteboard.
And then where are you drawing the string from off Bevo?
Well, probably to me.
Yeah.
No, it is a reminder for all of us to be careful and to be diligent.
I've already changed my password.
Yeah.
Xavier69 got to go. No, by the time this episode's out, the password would have changed. So bad luck.
He would have changed it to
good.
Xavier 6969.
Yeah.
Now what am I going to do?
69, Xavier 69%.
I've got
He's got it back?
It's been
cleaned
I think
up.
it's back. So all the drama lasted 2 hours.
Still.
Okay, well, how about we give your password away just see whether you sit there and go, just the drama went for 2 hours.
Yeah, just give it to
with
us.
a smug-looking face.
Let me just tidy up some things.
Yeah, see, that's it.
Yeah. Whoever wins, whoever gets the best question in the mailbag this week gets Rhino's account for 2
password.
hours. Yeah.
Well, the mobile number was interesting. That got tweeted out, which is that's not on. Like,
What are you whinging about? I'm about to do yours.
send it out there. Go on.
Mate, Baz used to give his out on air. That's it. Baz used to give his out on air.
That's not surprising me.
Speaking about it,
How many's he got?
What's happened to you?
I had chili on my finger.
This idiot. This idiot here. About a year ago, do you remember, Nick? He went downstairs
He got
to
the
the
chicken
cafeteria,
strip?
got the chicken strips, and complained that
He thought it was tomato sauce.
Well,
and
yes,
it was
but the guy behind the
chili
counter
sauce.
offered him the chili sauce, and then he doesn't like it, but because he's too polite and also too stubborn, he decided to double down on the chili.
Yeah.
So every week now he goes back and gets the chili sauce, and he ups the take.
And the strips are
He
quite
doesn't even-
spicy by themselves.
They are spicy.
Yeah.
So it's a double spice.
He doesn't like chili sauce.
No, I don't know what I'm doing. And now it's in my eye.
Now you've rubbed your eye.
Because I put
Don't
that
go to
much
the-
into it, the brown paper bag started to seep through.
I've got some concerns.
Don't go to the toilet.
No, I've
Just give
done
him
it
a good
before.
wash before you
I've
go.
had chili on the Wilson before.
Really?
Yeah,
How'd that work out for you?
Well, I was obviously just making something with chili and then gave the old boy an adjustment. And
Bad times.
sorry, Michelle.
Jeez. Most action has happened down there in a while. Now, Nick, I've got a concern about our man here, because do you know how often on our little thread, our WhatsApp thread, we'll see things being discussed in the media and they sound very similar
Yes.
to
Yeah.
things that we've already done.
Yes.
You know, it'll be an opinion on a player, or it'll be a segment. A whole segment will be copied sometimes. I was in at Triple M this morning. I'm doing my usual stint, just to go in there, chat some footy with Save and Michelle.
Rhino's pretty flat.
and
We've had to move him
Shano.
into the 6 o'clock hour.
Oh,
Is that true or false?
I'll still get paid the same.
Is that true or
conquered
false?
one
No,
demographic.
it's true.
It's true.
It's true. I don't think it's got much to do with me. And my concern is I leave the studio and I'm standing around chatting to the producers, and then I hear the plug for what's coming up next. And it just alarmed me. Here comes, our new conspiracy
Oh,
segment.
yes.
Our
Stealing your own
new
gear now.
conspiracy segment.
Yes.
Punters ringing in, giving their best conspiracies. Put a little bit of music
Wow.
underneath
No.
it. Deliver it with a bit of drama.
Hang on.
Hey?
I did credit the hardball gets and gave
On
the
air.
hardball gets a plug
Oh,
on
yeah,
on
there
air.
we
Did
go.
you?
We'll take
On
that.
air.
Did you?
On air.
Because you know I can find this audio.
On air. Fact.
100%.
On my kid's life.
Hardball
Wow,
gets
yeah.
Hardball
AFL
gets
show.
podcast.
In what way
Promise
did you
you.
say it?
I said this is something we've been doing on our podcast and I love it.
What podcast did you say
Hardball gets. Yeah.
Okay.
Fact.
100%. You
100%.
said
Get the audio
hardball gets. Because you know there's an
100%.
there's an easy way to check this.
Yeah, I want you to.
Okay. All right.
So this hasn't quite gone to plan, has it?
No, no.
Yeah.
missed that.
Okay, you haven't quite got me on this
I missed the plug, but
Yeah.
I'm holding you to account because it was a clear
Yeah.
No, but
theft.
credited.
I had someone contact us about it, so our listeners are doing the work for us out there too. They just said, so good friends of the show, Dill Buckley and Mick Barlow on
Yes.
their one, started to do like a best player, but you're allowed to project 6 years. One of our listeners emailed us, said, boys, just letting you know, it's very similar to the best player in 5 years.
Which we're due to do pretty soon.
Yes.
In fact, actually, that should be coming
It's
up
actually a good
maybe
around
next
one.
week. Who knows?
Yes. Well,
Well, okay. Yeah, well, look, no good idea is new. apparently.
No,
and
there
we
isn't.
stole most of them.
Well, we've stolen a couple.
And I'll tell you what, we had some good conspiracies. A flat earther,
Yeah.
someone who reckons that they're getting skim data from Telstra. They reckon they're skimming data off them.
That's a good one.
And the other one we had
It was the stars of cameras.
Oh, they reckon that stars don't exist, that they're just cameras from North Korea. From North Korea.
spying on everyone.
He's going to take the dinghy out and run into the wall.
So apparently, like, the Truman Show or whatever,
Yeah.
someone said to them, the Truman Show is, that's before my time, guys.
Did
Like he dead said it wasn't taking the piss.
Did
That's
anybody
cameras.
ask him about the fact that the stars have been there a lot longer than the technology required to run a camera?
Well, that's
through
a
How do we know
conspiracy
that?
in itself.
How do we know
How
that,
do you
mate?
know?
Who wrote the history
right,
books?
So, yeah, okay, that's true.
Who writes the history books,
That's
mate?
yeah, that's true. The winners.
Yeah, big tech,
The victors.
probably.
Big
North
tech.
Korea. Big tech and North Korea are in together.
Oh, okay.
And
Let's
now
get
we're all
into it.
going to be surveilled for the rest of our lives.
Was that what you were going to go after me with?
Yeah, that's all I had. Yeah.
Shit.
Been a
Things are
lot.
drying up.
I'm checking.
Things
that
are
audio.
drying up on that front.
I'm checking that
I'm
audio.
bulletproof these days.
Well,
Yeah,
you
good.
cleaned your backyard. Everything's.
Oh, mate,
Because
I
he doesn't post anymore on Instagram.
I'm
because
on
he's
top of the
true.
world.
The
Winter.
influencing's dried up.
Because it's winter.
The influencing's
Some people
dry.
get
Yeah, no,
skinnies
you
in
like,
winter.
yeah, you like until summer swings back
It's gonna
around.
burst. He's just stockpiling content.
Sold a little bit of.
I know you've mentioned that a couple of
really?
times. Yeah, I've noticed the attire. You've got a clean shirt on there too. Must be nice.
Yeah, well,
Bought a brand new shirt. No.
House,
oh, wow. Yeah. Well, the council's knocked back our plans for an extension. So
Have they?
Yeah, twice, mate. Don't get me started. It's
I've
about a
got-
driveway
I've got a
that
mate.
exists already.
You're not in the Claremont.
Yes. Oh, okay. Let's go. We'll take this discussion
He's
off
got a
air.
mate. Okay.
Let's take this discussion off air.
What's been the issue?
The driveway. They said that they didn't know it was there. We still need to have carports behind the property line.
Oh, you didn't want
This
that.
is thrilling podcasting audio, by the way.
Well, wait until I move back into the Royals.
Yeah.
It's King's birthday today.
Oh, true.
God bless the King.
How's he going? Is he?
I couldn't care.
All right. Let's start with Sydney.
What's the order today?
I think we just pick one of yours when it
You
comes
really
to
don't even try anymore, do you?
Well, I no.
no,
You
that's
watched
fine.
2 games of footy 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I attended. So that's
was,
double. That's worth double.
Who's got Sydney?
I've got Sydney. So is there an argument for Chad being the best player in the competition right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what's the is he best? Is he number one?
So
is
he's
he top
quiet.
five?
He was quiet yesterday for the first quarter and a
yeah,
half.
26 and
And
kicks
then
2.
started running with the football bouncing. He's probably the most explosive midfielder in the comp.
I'd say
in
he's
form,
the-
in form explosive midfielder.
Someone pointed out, or someone called him it was on Twitter, the heir apparent to Dusty, and you scoff at first, and then you're like, it's actually very similar to sort of what Dusty was doing.
Well, we've got a statement.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we got a statement here from Tom Morris on Twitter. This
Oh,
is
what
fresh.
have you got?
This is fresh. I just got alerted to it.
That dog, Ryan Daniels.
My X account was hacked overnight. It's
Oh,
now
X.
been recovered, but please be cautious of any activities sent or communicated this morning. The tweets sent were not from me. The matter is now with Victorian Police
Oi.
and other relevant authorities. There you go.
Wowee.
So does the Victorian jurisdiction hold up in Western Australia right
No,
now?
I checked that before.
Yeah,
Clean.
it
Yeah,
does.
clean.
I made sure.
Yeah.
It's going to be extradited.
You better not. You hope you're going over for grand final
And
week.
you know,
I'll give you the tip. You won't come back.
I love how you think it was done here. I had a guy in Guatemala.
Yeah, the Philippines.
That's why the
Can't trace it.
That's why it didn't make sense. One of the tweets.
Exactly.
But yeah, he's definitely the most explosive. Maybe the best offensive mid. I don't know. How's his defensive? It's probably
Chad Warner.
One of the best defensive mids.
No, I said offensive mid.
Oh, I thought you said defensive.
No.
I was like, how are you judging that?
No. I said the best.
He said defensive. He
said
defensive.
Yeah, he said probably one of the best defensive mids.
Best offensive.
Okay.
That's what I know Chad
probably
for.
not
I know
correct.
Chad Warner for his defence.
For his tackles, mate. Sitting out the back of the stoppage, waiting for people to come past him.
Highly accountable.
Horse can't
Wrapping
work
him up.
out whether he's going to tag with him 1 week or he's going to play
Or
offensive.
he's going to let him have
football.
26 and 3.
All right,
Yeah.
James, Jordan and Chad, you guys go stand in the corner. One of you is tagging. The
said
other one is going to be our main
It's
man.
big stick. Yeah, whoever gets a short stick is tagging.
Well, they've been tossing the coin every week, and unfortunately, James Jordan just
Yeah,
keeps
they lose
losing
every
the
week.
toss. It's unbelievable.
And then does a good job on Tom Stewart again.
So there you go.
Good work by you.
I've got Essendon, so bear with me 1 sec because I flicked out of my notes. But Essendon Football
Well,
Club
they lost again, hey?
lost again.
Lost again.
Just saying.
He's a hater.
If
They're
you
going
had
to win
to,
the flag, mate.
if you had to put your pills on the line,
Okay, which we do regularly.
are they making the finals with, of course,
Yeah.
Collingwood out of the 8, Melbourne out of the 8, Brisbane, I know that.
As I said a while ago,
If they
have.
don't,
someone well informed to me said, if Essendon do not make the 8 with the draw they have,
yeah.
then they are
Okay.
all getting cleaned out.
Wrap
So
it
they've
up.
lost the last 2. So here's the next 5.
Mm-hmm.
West Coast,
Well, they have to win
they
that.
win that. Geelong,
Where's that? Oh, it's at the MCG
MCG.
because they're not leaving
No.
the city of Melbourne.
MCG,
I'd take Geelong, I think. Yeah.
Collingwood,
Collingwood.
Yeah.
Melbourne,
Nah, probably take Essendon.
No, I don't know. I'd probably take Melbourne.
You reckon?
Adelaide.
In Adelaide?
No.
No, they're not.
Oh, yeah,
leaving
because
that.
they
they're
don't
not
leave.
going
Yeah, it
anywhere.
must be nice. Jeez.
They'll probably take Adelaide.
They'll beat Adelaide, I think.
Okay, so that's.
But on their day, Adelaide's capable.
so they're going to be 2 and 6 over the last 8, is what you're telling
But
me.
they'll probably still make it,
I'll give
right?
a
They
shout out
scrape in.
to our mate Kev's Kickers, who
He hates you.
he said, I hope Footy Rhino is consistent and talks for 2 minutes on how Essendon in relation to how we won on expected score last night.
They, in fairness, they did have that ball trapped down that side of the ground
Yeah.
Tracking
for a
Kev's-
long time.
Does tracking Kev's mental state throughout the season based on his
peaks
Essendon?
and troughs.
It must have been a tough few years for
I
Kev.
wrote that the herdsmen, they have like a gathering there for Essendon games, and that one bloke came out the other day and goes, mate, you reckon we'll get us? I said, absolutely no chance. Mate, poor bloke wandered off like he'd been kicked up the
See,
arse.
it's the hope
And then
that
he
kills
came,
you.
Oh, no, and then he came back after the game. Said, oh, you're right, mate. Yeah, they didn't. But no, in fairness to Essendon last night, they did so many things right.
Yeah.
But in the end, and it's talk about it a little bit on Triple M call, when you're dominating inside 50s, you can't just keep banging it back in.
No, you
Because there's not enough time for the Carlton defenders to get out of there, so you're still kicking to outnumbers.
Yeah, it's a good
So
point.
you've got to just at least give it a minute or move the ball around, try and get the numbers up, so then you're not kicking to a 4 on 2.
Otherwise, it's got to be perfect.
Yeah.
It's got to be absolutely perfect. I will go Collingwood straight away because they're playing today, and I will bullet them.
Yeah, I think we bullet the two sides.
No,
mate.
no,
So
no.
I didn't mean we said this off the
because
top,
I've
but
got
this is
both
pre-game.
teams coming off a bye as well, so we're bulleting one. All right?
Fuck, all right.
Someone's got to do
I
Melbourne.
better jot down some notes from Melbourne there.
I love how he was pitching it because he
Yeah,
had
because
it.
I already said no.
He had him.
But yeah, this is for anyone who's listening.
wanted to
This
get
is
it early.
before the game, the King's birthday game.
Correct.
So, and we may be giving away some trade secrets about the mailbag as well on the same day.
No, we won't.
All right, well, I was
We'll do 2 openers. Well done to the Demons yesterday. Or
Yeah,
well done to Collingwood.
Pies. GWS. Is there a Tassie? Do you get a Hawthorne at a percentage better in Tassie, or Hawthorne just absolutely flying at the moment and GWS should have won that game?
That's always been a thing.
The Tassie
I always look at
Tassie
the
boost.
fixture, and if Hawthorne are slight underdogs but it's in Tassie, I'm going
Going
Hawthorne.
Tassie.
If Hawthorne are favourites in Tassie, they're not going to lose. Even if Hawthorne are way underdogs in Tassie, I'm still worrying about it.
Yeah.
It is a massive advantage. It always has been.
Well, we never used to play the good teams down there.
Well,
ever.
that's
We
true.
used to play
You're
the
not-
battlers down there all the time.
That's
Well,
true.
talk about me. You play Fremantle down there plenty of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to.
But
remember when Ross withdrew like 15 players one game?
That was
Yeah.
Craig Moller's debut.
Was it really?
Were you at the
Yeah.
airport with me that day?
No.
So we were all, I remember we always used to go to the airport and we'd stand in this little section. This is going back well before
Yeah,
technology caught up with everything. And we'd
Well, before you had other people you could send to do that job.
yeah. Well, that too. So we'd stand at the entrance point and you'd tick off the players as they come through. You go,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay, who's here for his night?"
People still do that.
They do. Yeah, it still happens. But so this one day, the blokes that started rocking up that day were like,
Yeah.
"Hold on a minute, Casey Cibasato. This is Craig Moller." Like,
Has he got a number on his back? What's his name?
it was before the days of online betting. I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, had there been online betting at that point, you would have seen an absolute
plunge.
surge from the journos at
you-
that airport.
Did you miss out, did you?
Yeah.
Back
The
then.
Hawks paid for the footy trip that weekend.
It was, it was.
And then we
it was a
lost. Then that was 2010, and then we lost to them the week after, or 2 weeks after in a final.
Oh, that's right. Over
lot.
here.
Yeah, classic Ross.
The Morabito goal.
Yep.
No,
correct.
Hawthorne. Were we talking about Hawthorne? Or were we talking about GWS?
GWS. So let's just smash.
okay.
No, that's the one. That free kick is the one that probably was there out of those 3 free kick, like game-defining free kicks.
The Sicily one. What did you think?
Yeah, the Green on Sicily
Yeah.
just hit him. It was just a bit clumsy.
Yeah, but they always say you haven't hit him late if it's affected the kick.
I feel like it was.
Is what they is technically not technically is a good measurement of how late it
Yeah.
was. He kicked it out in the full.
Yeah, I feel like you hit him as he kicked it.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. So it's not late
should have
because
been
it's
play
affected
on.
your kick.
I think it should have been play on.
Having
You
said
can play
that,
on or free back it.
Are we
'cause
concerned
you're still
about Tommy
hitting him.
Green, his productivity without Josh Kelly in the team?
he was good in the first half and did nothing after half
they
time.
They switched that tag a few times.
Yeah, he got tagged a couple of times, yeah.
It's Dave, you're up.
All right, Gold Coast Suns. Is there one player on the entire Gold Coast list? This is a two-parter. I'm going to ask you to name their top 5 goal kickers in a sec. Is there a player on the Gold Coast list that you turn on the TV, sitting there on a Saturday night, going to put on some Gold Coast footy, click, oh, gosh, you beauty. I'm looking forward to getting my teeth into this guy.
You know what,
Look, I'm weird. Mac Andrew.
Last
is
month I
that
was going to
for
say
me.
Mac Andrew, yeah.
I do like watching Noah Anderson.
Yeah, you like watching. Is there one bloke that you go, every club's almost got one?
What? Well, not every club's got a Mac Andrew.
No, every club's got a player you turn on. Even West Coast have got Harley Reid now.
Yeah, I think Mac.
I see what you're
Mac-
saying.
Like today, I'm turning on. I'm looking forward to seeing Nick Dacos. I'm looking forward to seeing Clayton Oliver.
You do ride Gold Coast pretty hard.
Yeah.
Like I find whenever they
Sorry,
lose,
did you not see the scoreboard at half
That
time?
was awful.
It was disgusting.
Yeah.
And then both coaches blamed each other.
It was awful.
All right, now okay. So now
That
I've
was
got
a
that.
hard
So just
watch.
to just explain even deeper how boring they are.
Go.
Top 5 goal kickers at Gold Coast. Go
This year?
King.
This right now.
Ben
Go.
King.
King's
Yeah, 38 goals.
Noah
number
Long?
one. Noah Long.
Noah Long at
what-
West
what's
Coast.
his
Yeah,
name? No,
good
not
try.
Noah Long. Sorry,
Jesus.
Yeah.
Long. Ben Long. Ben.
Ben Long is third.
There we go.
Okay.
With
Ainsworth.
hang on. Ben Long is
Yeah,
third
Ainsworth to be in there.
with 12.
Okay. All right,
Ainsworth's
that's
in
what
there
we're fine with.
somewhere.
Ainsworth is also on 12.
Okay.
Uh,
Anderson? Is it like 6 or something? He's like 5th.
No Anderson.
Lukosius had a
Oh, yeah,
couple of
Lukosius would be
filled
up
up
there.
in Darwin.
He's on 12 as well. So the top second, third, and fourth are all on 12.
And there's one underneath that.
One underneath.
Which would be.
This bloke kicked 5 in one game from
is it
memory.
Bailey Hump?
Oh, it's Humphrey.
It's
Yeah,
the humper.
Bailey
Yeah, it's the hump.
They've got one goal kicker on 38. Then it goes 12, 12, 12, 10.
Yeah, lacking firepower.
Depth.
The law.
Depth. Spread of goal kickers.
Oh my! Spread.
Yeah.
A spread would suggest the numbers are still higher.
Do you think that they have that player on the list in Jed Walter? Because I think.
Oh, of course they
I
do.
think
Yeah.
Give it
Yeah,
2
yeah.
years, and Jed Walter's going to be the guy you're switching on
Yeah.
for. I think so.
Yeah,
You
but God,
remember
they're boring.
how many did Sam Day kick that game when he popped up again? Sam Day's still on a list.
The same.
He kicked 4 or something and then got dropped.
See the only foundation player left there.
Swallow.
Oh, Swallow, yeah.
Swallow.
Dave Swallow.
Swallow was in their first draft.
He was
yeah.
their first pick, yeah.
I
Oh,
reckon-
you were talking about like the pre-listed guys
Yeah.
or the draft?
I thought Sam Day was in the first.
No,
first.
he was in the first draft. It was Swallow, Day, Bennell.
Right.
Yeah, that were the 3.
Where is Harley?
Am I up?
He's playing at
for
Harvey Bulls or
Harvey
something.
Brunswick
Yeah,
or
right.
whatever
Yeah.
it is. Okay,
HBL.
Fremantle. Right, so Logan McDonald, I said on Triple M this morning, I'm expecting him to, that announcement to come that he's staying at Sydney.
Yeah.
Probably this week, maybe another week, depending on when they get the boxes ticked off, but I believe it's happening. Now,
Who manages Logan?
I think it's Ben, the guy was on Big Brother.
Oh, the Big Brother guy.
Yeah, the Big Brother guy.
Yeah.
Ben Graham.
Nope.
Not Ben. He was in
so
Super Bowl.
Fremantle, would you rather have Josh Tracy or Logan McDonald? Now, I want to phrase this in the fact that
Don't even need to
McDonald's
phrase it.
gonna-
Don't even need to phrase it.
well, McDonald's
Tracy.
going to cost you a lot more.
Tracy.
Right,
I'm
yeah,
not,
Tracy.
regardless, money the same. Tracy.
Well, I ran some stats to spot. Thought I'd have to argue it a bit harder. So Tracy's 21, McDonald's 22, but there's only really a couple of months between them. This year, 24 goals, 6 for Tracy. Dead accurate. He's one of the most accurate key forwards.
I might have told you that this morning. actually.
Not the inaccuracy thing.
Ben Williams.
Did you? Really?
His name's Ben Williams.
That's it.
Plays in.
Logan McDonald, 19 goals, 14. So he's 5 extra
Logan McDonald
goals.
went through a stage where he was kicking them from the goal line too. Remember he kicked 4 or 5
Yeah,
that's
goals
right.
from the
Joey
goal line?
Goes.
Yeah.
58
Josh
marks
Jenkins.
58 marks to McDonald, 69 to Tracy, so 11 marks ahead,
Hey.
10 for 2. And
That's your
11,
old-fashioned dinner for two.
11 contested marks for McDonald, 16 for Tracy. That's
Yeah,
probably the
right.
big one for me because if you're looking for someone to pair with Jai Amos, You want someone who's a powerful pack mark because Amos, it's not really his go. He can do it, but his main go is the craftiness and the lead.
Well, who's better this year, Amos or Tracy?
Tracy.
Well, Tracy. But I always argue it's the same as the key backs. It's a partnership. So it's like Taylor and Buckley at GWS, May and Lever at Melbourne. I think you need two. And if you have Tracy and Amos, maybe Tracy's going well because Amos is copping the best defender, and it's a thing. I like to pair them. Roughhead and Franklin, they worked well together.
Roughhead still won. I mean, Franklin still won everything.
Yeah, of course.
He didn't have a year off.
He's a
Rough
freak.
Blossom.
He's a freak. But I do think it tends to work in tandem.
Kennedy didn't have a spell to have Darling have a crack.
No,
but he wasn't giving hands in the goal square.
But you could argue that Darling's success was because of Kennedy.
Yeah, the
right.
Second point,
yeah, you know what I mean.
I agree.
So we're all in agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't have to argue that at all.
No, I think so.
What about
Logan McDonald still projects very well, but
yeah, I know.
Josh Tracy's playing well right now.
The main point is what you'd have to pay to get McDonald.
Yeah.
You'd have to give up the draft picks. You'd probably have to put the money up high.
Just quickly on Freo, because Ryan.
Do you want to extend this because you're going to be a flog?
No.
He wants to extend it.
Just a little extension.
No, he's going to be a flog about something.
Because every week Ryan gives himself Freo so he can just get under the tent and blow it up.
Nick gives
Today I was sitting there and it was like there was this ladder and it had a bit of dust and soot over it, and I just went and blew the soot away. And I discovered something, a narrative that Ryan's been burying, just keeps covering it and covering it and covering it.
You are an idiot.
Freo have won 7 games this year. What's the highest on the ladder? What's the highest team on the ladder they've beaten?
Do you count Melbourne, who'll be
have
top
been
6
high?
today? Yeah.
Melbourne, what, apart from Melbourne?
10th.
Is this when they played them, though?
No,
the
the ladder as we speak, 10th.
As we speak.
Yeah, but then Melbourne are there because of what Fremantle did to them.
Melbourne
10th.
were a top 4 side.
Listen to you. Listen to you under the tent, boys.
No, just 10.
mate.
He may think
We're not
in the
haters.
10. This guy hates the tent. He's outside
Yeah.
trying to set the tent on fire.
I want into the tent.
can't
I
come
get
in.
sad.
Pissing on the side
You
of the
cannot
tent.
come into the tent now.
Nah,
so
I
if
get
this
sad.
thing takes off the way we think it's going to, you can't come in now.
Well, they're going to start by beating a team in the top 10.
oh, okay.
wow,
You can
okay,
only, you
sorry.
only be what's in front of
Well,
you.
they haven't. They've lost to everyone in the top 8.
Well, they didn't lose to Collingwood.
Well, they're not in the top 8.
Collingwood or
Fluffhead.
Melbourne will be in the top 8 today.
Well,
Yeah,
they're not at the
one of them
moment.
will be.
They're not at the moment. And I hope it's Collingwood so that stat holds up.
Well, they were what, like 3 points
the
off?
hate-
Oh,
The hate
Sorry,
that he
I
has.
know.
They've had a huge win and then they've had a week off,
And
and
then
he still finds a way to hate
Caleb
it.
Ciarron
Sorry,
comes in at Triple M. Oh, Caleb, here you go, mate.
Sorry, James Dillon. Who runs AFL? What's his name?
Andrew Dillon.
Andrew Dillon.
Andrew
Hey,
Dillon.
mate, safe here. Nick says they only lost by 3 points. So can we just turn that result?
Can you?
And then we've got some top 8 action.
Can
Thanks,
you do
mate.
yourself a favour and try to work out the name of the CEO? 'Cause at some point that's going to burn you. I don't know when it'll be. It'll be grand final or something, and Zave will be walking in trying to get in a side door.
Yeah.
And Dill will walk past him and go, "Not this bloke."
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll be.
Zave, if you could tell me my name,
What's
I'll
my
go.
name?
Come in with me.
Dildo, bang.
Yeah.
No, what I would
Triple
say.
M will call up, ask for a comment. I was going to say, I'll see if James is available.
No, what I will quickly say is I did do a little bit of a mid-year review for the paper tomorrow. Right now, I think they do have potentially the best midfield, led by Sarong. I wrote the paper today. And their defence, I'd say 3 All-Australians in the top 40.
Okay.
Trying to get
So-
in the tent, Nick.
Yeah,
Trying to get in the tent.
Pretty
Have a look at him.
blatant.
I'm
pretty
just,
blatant
I
approaches.
just,
All
I
right.
just wanted to point out something that
Okay.
you've obviously rang James Dillon and said, mate, hide the
JD.
ladder. Hide the ladder.
All right, Geelong. Can we discuss the Toby Conway management? So I think he's clearly their best ruck at the moment.
Yeah.
He played 4 games in a row, and they decided to manage him going into a game against sort of the best team going out there, and they got Reece Stanley didn't really hold up in the ruck.
No.
Why? Unless he was massively sore or something, don't you just play the kid? He's your best ruckman.
So he probably had something.
You reckon he had something? But they prefaced this like early in the season. They said he's going to have stints, and then we're going to rest him. Et
Yeah,
cetera,
so they're
et cetera.
doing exactly what they said.
Yeah, but I just don't know if that was the game to
No, I'd
do it.
say he's got something because he's got the bye next week.
So it's
I'd
a
say-
2-week into it.
I'd say there's a little niggle or something.
Well, this is one of the tents that Zave resides in.
This is
so maybe
true,
he's
no,
yeah.
telling the truth.
absolutely no.
Geelong North.
No insight on
How'd
this.
he go? Was he cheering in the press box when North got up yesterday?
He was up and about. Should have seen him. He stood up at the end.
Go, Alistair, go,
It's
Nick.
hard for him though because
Well,
he's
I
in 2
did.
tents.
No.
Yeah, that's
So
it.
he would
That on the
have
tent.
won either way.
Do you want to know why I was cheering North Melbourne?
Because you bet on him.
No,
Correct.
Then you'd be just cheering West Coast, wouldn't you?
No, because I also had North not to win a game
Yeah, I know,
at
yeah.
$61.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I'd laid off on both.
Ah,
yeah.
smart.
So,
But you did that a few days before the game, obviously.
I did that,
Yes.
I reckon, Tuesday.
Yes.
Yeah, just
No, so
well-
just fun fact for anyone, that if you're working the game
There's
in
a
the
period where
media,
you can't punt.
midnight, not before, you're not allowed
Yes.
to.
Is it
Correct.
midnight night before? It used to
Yeah.
be like hours.
No, it used to
midnight.
be 24 hours, and I think that it became midnight the night.
Yeah, right.
Which makes it hard when you've had a few beers and you get home on a Saturday and
Yeah.
you throw something on and then you're like, shit, what time was that?
it's 12:30,
And then you look at it, it says 10:38 and you're like, Perth time, we're good.
Can I just add on this? I went down to the Inglewood Hotel yesterday to watch
Oh, yeah?
Sydney Geelong, and there was a Sydney fan behind me.
Yeah.
And I had the kids with me as well. He was letting out a few F-bombs
Oh.
out of frustration.
Did you say anything?
No, he apologised
Okay,
in the
cool.
moment because
Oh,
he
wow.
realised the kids were
All
there.
right, people,
And then he
Sydney
hit me
fans.
up on Twitter afterwards to apologise again. And I said, don't worry about it, mate. We've all been there.
Rhino's
So I
just telling
wanted-
the story so
No.
that we now know that Ryan was noticed yesterday at the pub. The person knew who he was.
No,
Personality.
I did it because if he's listening, I'd say, don't worry about it, mate. We're all good.
Yeah.
He's a
Don't worry
good
about
fella.
it. I was trying to put the kids
Couple
to
of
bed.
pints
and
of
they told me to
Guinness.
fuck off.
Ah,
He's
yeah.
having his Guinness, yeah. Do you know
Split
what?
the
The
G.
Inglewood, I'm not Zave, so I'm not getting influenced. Great pub to watch footy.
No, I'm a supporter of all
Big
pubs. to watch footy.
screen, great beer selection.
Who am I sponsored by?
Did take 30
Are you the
minutes to get
Scarborough
lunch,
Sporty?
but,
Do you get
I
like 30% off beers or something at the Scarborough
Nah,
Sporty?
free.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go.
No, that's a lie too. No, nothing. No, I just enjoy good company, good people.
don't know. Okay.
Me? Hey, Carlton, are we finally in and believing about Carlton?
Yeah,
just
we're on
off the
them.
back
Yeah.
of yesterday.
Nah, we're on 'em.
Walsh did nothing.
Yeah.
Cripps did nothing.
Yep.
5 times this year they've scored over 100, and I think there's 2 or 3 in the 90s.
Yep.
So they're scoring freely. The forwards didn't really.
Yeah,
it
that was
wasn't
the
like,
thing which got it for me, yeah.
But it wasn't really like, oh, the game was ripped apart by an individual. Chin Cotter.
Yeah.
The tagger. Another one is listening to
any
the tag.
team that has a tagger, I support now. Chin Cotter.
There
Can
is
you
a
stop
correlation.
clapping into the microphone? Every time you do it, Michelle has having conniptions.
No, that's all
She's
right.
like, jeez, he's doing it again.
No, because people think there's a live audience in here. No, so yesterday too, I did see that Zach Merritt's ranking points were through the roof. He had 10 tackles or something. We had 10 tackles when I was looking late in the
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
It's funny how ranking points just don't tell the story sometimes.
We still don't have that right.
Nah.
Sometimes it looks right. It's a true reflection of the game. Other times you're like, really?
Yeah.
That guy?
Well, that was yesterday for me.
Yeah.
If it was the tagger with the 10 tackles,
Yeah.
I would've, and like, don't get me wrong, if you're getting tagged, Zach, there's not much more you can do than tackle and try and get involved.
Yeah.
Chin Cotter kicked too late. On that thing, the Fox footy
The pressure gauge.
pressure gauge, why is it not just out of 10? And so everyone has a fair understanding of it's going at 160. 160, what does that even mean? But if you said it's
Well, they
going
say,
out of a 4 out.
180 is the average.
Yeah, but I get
They always say that.
But if they just said 7's the average,
Yeah, it's 7
and you
out
go,
of 10.
okay, they're at 8, they're a fraction over average. Oh no, they're at 269. Sweet. Is that good or bad?
It's great.
Do
269's high.
do you get it?
Yeah.
Get it.
No, I don't think anyone gets
It's
it.
just the sliding
but I
scale
will
which
say
works.
this. I do like when it comes up for some reason.
I don't mind it, but
I get a little bit excited.
just give me out of 5 or 10. Just give me.
when it comes up, you're like, oh, that's why they're losing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look at their
that's,
pressure.
Look at the gap. Look at the
It's
gap
way
between
off.
them.
oh, the
It's
pressure
way
gauge is only at 163.
Yeah.
I do like it.
What though?
I do like it. No, we're on Carlton. I think I think
mean-
they're the second best team.
Yeah, I agree with that. I
think
do
they
agree
are.
with that.
I think it's Sydney and Carlton.
And again, as I did say at the start, like you expect someone because they've got all Australians littered through the
Yeah,
side.
they're loaded.
That you just expected one of them to really dominate. It just didn't happen.
I really like
that's-
Zach Williams up forward.
Yeah,
Tip your
how
hat to
good.
that.
Love
Tip
that
your hat
move.
to that.
Because I saw
Bit of
And
coaching from Rossi.
Wiedering was good down back,
Yeah,
but yeah.
he's a star.
There was one moment where Kerno got a free kick. I was like, nobody else would have guessed that. Then they showed the replay and he basically bear hugged him.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, no, that one's probably fair enough.
my old man goes, we're watching goes, defenders, you got to do something, I guess. I was like, what, just give away a free kick?
Yeah,
Oh,
in the
that's
goal
helpful,
square.
Dad. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Do something.
Got to do something, I
You were going to
guess.
say it had a big impact on your career then, did you?
Oh, Dad, mate. I went and watched Dad play one game of footy from memory, and he had a shot at goal. This is a memory that's just torped into my head. Had a shot from about 45 out on an angle, went off the side of his boot, through the canteen window, and knocked over the urn for the coffees. That's how shit he was. Anyway, sorry.
Where
Is
are
it
we
me?
at?
I think it's me. Okay, so North Melbourne. Hey, hats off.
Hey.
288 days and a breakthrough win. And travelling as well, so hats off to him. Well done. Jai Simpkin, that's his best game
What,
in how
but
long?
where did that... I
3
didn't know
years?
he was capable of that anymore.
3 years?
So we said in the box straight away when they were warming up,
Yeah.
he was
Embers asked you. He said, any chance Simpkin today have a good game? And
didn't have the fluoro on.
Yeah.
No, I said yes. I said no fluoro on. He was with LDU and Wardlaw.
Yep.
In the North kit, had someone up his ginger as the bench player or something.
So no fluoro on, meaning he's in the A.
He's going to start in the A's. He's not doing half-forward stuff. He's starting at the first centre bounce. Had 12 at half time or 13 at half time. Ended with 26
28. 7 tackles and the 2 goals.
The
2 goals were massive.
I've got a theory behind that too.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure this was a story that was out yesterday in the Daily Mail that him and his missus have broken up.
Oh.
So he's about to hit the singles market.
Mate. Jesus, mate.
He's about to hit the singles market.
Is he really?
So he's thought my stocks have plummeted significantly since the last time I was on the singles market.
Can you
I need a couple
this,
of good
or are you
games.
just throwing out randomly that Josh
She's
is
WA
the Daily Mail.
Memory, isn't she?
I think she's a Brereton. Last name's Brereton. I don't know if she's Dermot's daughter.
How's old mate just gossip? Oh, I think she's a Brereton, and I think they're
Nick's
getting
gone back
divorced.
to the old Perth
Mate,
Fair
I
days.
saw it. It's just in the
Off you
no,
go.
they did.
A staff write it.
Split from
Jesus.
Demi Brereton after 2 years.
Demi Brereton.
Demi Brereton.
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
Wouldn't you put it past Dermot to give all his kids' names start with a D?
Where is he getting this
North
from?
Melbourne have one
Daily
win,
Mail, mate.
one win in a
Just
year,
starts tearing them
and we're
apart.
talking about breakups.
Oh, mate, I'm telling you, this is why. He's just he's going to hit the singles market again, and his stocks have gone well down, so he needs a couple of good
It
games.
does tend to happen. I've got a couple of mates whose marriages are going separate ways, and they're both looking absolutely
Looking
No,
nice,
yeah,
aren't
they know. They got to
That's-
get, because your standards slip as you marry,
trimmed
don't they?
down, leaned up. Well, also there's more time on their hands too.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to give a shout out. Tristan Sherry's having a breakout season. He annihilated
How's
West Coast Drunks.
That Happy Gilmore run he did. I believe that joker belongs to Mr. Gilmore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was very
But
good.
Liam Ryan
great.
thought he was going to burn him,
Yeah,
and he didn't.
He couldn't.
Yeah, no, he couldn't get past. It was unreal.
Yep, that's me.
Okay, over to me. So Brisbane, just as expected, they won by 43 points at Marvel, and Eric Hipwood kicked 6, as we all predicted going into the round.
Yeah, Eric Hipwood, our man.
Yeah, what the hell?
We've been hard on Eric.
So who does I don't know, and this is why the Dogs annoy me so much, because just when you think they've got it figured out, they cough up like a loss from absolutely nowhere. Where Eric Hipwood kicked 6, like what the hell? But anyway, Neil bounced back. He probably would have enjoyed. Well, so the thing I don't understand there is Neil's gone
very
absolutely
good
bananas.
month of form.
Yeah,
If you
but they
track his
didn't.
month.
So they looked after Nick Dacos last week. Was that
Yep.
last week?
Yeah.
Why not just send the bloke to?
Well, Nick Dacos went rogue. Nick
Yeah.
Dacos had 40 and
Yeah, he
16.
Yeah, but at
clearances
least you
and
could do
18
something.
clearances. Oh, no. Brisbane's a team, and I don't want to go through tagging too much. But you eliminate Neil. What, Dunkley going to get hold of you?
And Neil's not going to do as much on the outside as Dacos. That hurt.
No. I think that Neil's one that should be in. And Gold Coast used to do it all the time straight away with Tuke Miller and whatnot.
Yeah.
I do feel as though it is a missed opportunity. I think they probably looked at it and thought we have Bont, Libbers back, Trelaw. We'll go head to head and see what happens. But yeah, Brisbane were grand final good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can still make it. I know
You
we
reckon?
wrote them off. We wrote them off last week.
Mate, you
kicked
We did
them
the
right
math.
down. Yeah,
We did the math last week. But remember there was 4 or 5 50-50
Yeah.
games, and
So-
the Bulldogs was the first one.
Yeah.
And we didn't think they could win when we did this last week.
Jesus,
So
tight.
they
It is
get
still
up.
tight.
They get
That's
up on
so
that
tight,
one,
isn't it?
But there's still a couple that. The problem is when you dig yourself this far in the hole, there's no room for slip up now.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have to win a couple more of those 50-50.
We probably need Sydney to keep winning out, and maybe Carlton second best, and beat everyone else, so that it just keeps toppling back and forth who's playing who.
One
Yeah.
loss or one win now.
Huge.
You can drop from
Well,
third to 12th.
So they've got a-
it's tight.
They got a game in hand, Brisbane, so they're on 12. They've played 12, a lot have played 13. And they're only 2 wins out of the 8. So you're
That's
right.
definitely
like-
doable.
Yeah, it's
I know
doable.
we sort of flipping.
Let's just delete the 2 minutes from last week where we
just
were
don't
annihilated.
worry about
The 4 Brisbane fans that listen are like, hey, you lost it. It's you, Zoe.
I got the Western Bulldogs, and off the back of the defeat, and they probably should have done something with Neil. But do we need it? We're giving Collingwood a big out with their injuries at the moment, and any team that's got it.
Was it you who brought this up last
This is
week?
me and my point last
Was
week.
it? I've got
Thanks
it
for
in front.
listening.
No, I've got it in front of me, and I know you went through it and pointed out. But from their round one side, players like Caulfield, for example, James Harms, who you don't consider stars, but they'll pick to play early in the year.
They were brought in,
They're
traded
clearly
for needs.
even little things like Ryan Gardner, for example, probably would have played on the hipster.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Mate, these names,
they've lost some stars and some depth.
They've lost both. Like Ed
Yeah.
Richards, I think, is one of their best players. All of a sudden in that midfield, he's great. Cody Waitman, I pointed out the multiple goals he'd kicked in years gone past. You go, Aaron Norton was one of the best forwards in the competition for that 6-week period. I pointed out a little while ago. And then you got, of course, players like Bailey Smith. You just simply forget about. He won't be at Bulldogs next year.
Where is he going to go? That'll be.
Hawthorne keeps getting mentioned.
Was he a Hawthorne supporter?
I don't know. Collingwood and Hawthorne are the two that
think he
keep
might
getting
have been.
mentioned. It's out of my
I think we used to
jurisdiction.
get golf membership.
I don't tend to cross over the border.
Look,
Stay in your lane.
dangerous.
Look
Stay
at
in your lane.
this
Keep your password.
smart dog now. He knows he's got the Twitter handle.
Hey, things happen when you cross the border.
yeah.
So I don't do that.
People go missing in the goldfields.
Like, they're the team, the doggies for mine. When they're underdogs,
Yeah.
they often pop up and put in a big performance. You go, geez, where was that?
Mate.
And on the weekend, they're favourites against Brisbane. And I was like, oh, geez, I don't like them with the injury
Are they
list.
almost the reverse Port?
Yeah.
You know how with Port, it's
Yeah, they
like
are.
when they're favourites, they'll win. When
Yeah.
they're not favourites, they'll lose. And yeah, I just can't keep track of the
And
Bulldogs.
Bont got done and ended up with 3 goals still.
Yeah.
What did you think of the lob booing?
It's just an unfortunate
The
situation.
Bronx
whole
cheers.
time.
Oh, that's just part of it. He's probably the Jack Darling of the
Yeah, he's-
Bulldogs.
he's-
I just say if saw someone say if he gets picked this week, it'll be the first time both the home and away team are booing him.
yeah.
It's rough. Well, speaking of Port, I did just mention them there. And I wanted to dissect, 'cause they had the bias, so there's nothing really interesting to talk about. But I wanted to have a look at their run home, because you know how I feel about them. They're going to beat the teams that they should beat. They're going to lose to the teams that they
So
should
where are they? 4th?
They are, yes, and they've won 7
games.
games. 8 games. Is that right?
8 and 4.
8 and
Must
4.
be 8 because 407.
Yeah, 8 and 4. So of their last remaining games, they played GWS away. That's the one coming up.
Who knows?
They'll beat. No, they'll win
At the
that.
moment.
Giants.
Yeah.
Giants are too wounded, mate. They'll beat the Giants.
They got Brisbane at home, St Kilda away, Bulldogs at home, Gold Coast away, Richmond at home, Carlton away, Sydney at home, Melbourne away, Showdown, which is their home game, and Freo away. So I had them penciled in terms of teams that they'll be favourite against, at least 6. So they're definitely making the finals, and they're almost certainly finishing in the top 4. But will you feel like they are genuine premiership contenders? They should be, based on their record, based on their ladder position, based on all the other factors.
Which part of the ground are we concerned by?
None in particular. If
Probably
I had to pick one, I'd say the
forwards?
forward line.
Forward line, yeah.
But they've also got names up there that are potential match winners. You know, Marshall's had moments.
Willie
Georgiades
Rioli.
has had moments.
Oh, but-
Rioli's had moments. Dixon, if
you're
you
going-
can just get him for a right game.
If you're going to a grand final and you're sitting there going,
Their midfielders kick goals.
Georgiades,
They can.
you're going Marshall, you're puckering. You're absolutely puckering. You're
Yeah.
hoping for someone to play an abnormally good
Well,
game.
they need either Rosie, Horn-Francis or Butters to probably kick 2 or 3.
Yep.
One of those guys.
We probably need
Both
a
of
couple
them.
in a big game, yeah.
So I don't know. Do you think they can win it? Do you actually have them on your list of possible flag contenders?
I can't. I've got Sydney and that's it at the moment.
Sydney and Carlton.
Sydney and Carlton now. Yeah.
You've narrowed it down. So Port aren't in it. What about for you?
Nah, top 4, but not in it.
Isn't that
Yeah.
weird though? You should
But
be in
again,
it.
someone will be in it.
But
'Cause
having
the odds
said
of Sydney
that,
and Carlton both
Was
being
it
there.
Port who they finished top 4? They have a home prelim against Richmond. Was it a prelim against Richmond?
Was that the COVID year?
And it rained.
Was it the
And
COVID one?
Yeah, I think it
Yeah, I
might
think
have
it
been.
was,
And that was
yeah.
that
Was it
killed
home or
And it was a
home,
massive
home,
one
home.
because they were one of the few teams that could actually have a home.
Yeah, it was a home, I'm
Prelim.
sure.
Yeah,
And,
it's
a double
and it
advantage.
rained.
That's
and that,
right.
that really killed them.
Yeah.
They had bad luck on that instance. They need good luck, everything to go their way, I would have thought. Too.
Imagine if Port do win the flag. The compilation of audio of us just, or particularly me, bashing Port that Colvin's going to be able to put together
Yeah.
is it's going to be big.
It's not going to be great.
It's going to be a 48-minute warning.
I'll go to West Coast. It's again, sort of just shows that there was some excitement around them for a few weeks, but they rely on too few to actually sort of bring them to
It's
a
a massive reality check for
Yeah.
everybody inside and outside the
But you
club.
didn't think they were going to walk up and win, did you?
I thought they would win the game. Yeah, I thought
I
they
thought
would
it
win the
toss of
game.
the coin.
Yeah, I think
The home thing, I thought they were looking a little more comfortable.
North Melbourne hadn't
Didn't
won in
expect
300
that.
days. Like, you should beat that team.
Yeah.
You've won 3 games this year already. You've had some signs.
I think
You've
I've still
definitely got way more experience on the park.
And then you go in and they let every good player, every promising player at North Melbourne kill them.
Well, they'll
Every
minus
midfielder.
they got
20.
beaten by what they know, which is what you always say you
Yeah.
shouldn't. right? They know Larky kills them every single time.
Yeah.
Simpkin
You
hasn't
don't
had a
expect
game
Josh
like
Simpkin
that.
to have 28 and 2.
Well, no, but he
at the
hasn't had a game
moment.
like
But
that
you're
in 3
playing for
years.
it, though.
Yeah.
LDU was unbelievable in patches. Wardlaw was excellent.
Yeah, you know what Fisher's been doing off the back of the last month.
Fisher just did what he wanted.
I can't have the one step out of goal square
No,
kicks.
you don't like
I
that.
can't. It just
because you
pisses
don't
me
even
off.
in your fantasy side.
But everybody does that. If you don't do it now, it's a disadvantage
No,
because
but
you're
just
getting
don't
an
give him a
extra
stat.
5 to 10 metres.
No, but just don't give him a stat for it.
Unless
So
you do a
kick-outs,
little
no
kick
stats.
thing.
No, nothing. Just bad luck.
Kick-outs, no stats.
And then
You
watch
used to
out.
take
then-
some kick-outs, right?
Yeah, never play on.
But did you? What about the little kick
Never
to
play on.
yourself? Did you get nervous doing that?
No, I do it differently.
How'd you do
And
it?
just
Tap?
tap it on the inside.
The
of your
rugby
foot.
league tap.
Yeah, rugby league tap.
The old tap.
Yeah, eliminate the risk of it going over
Yeah,
your head.
'cause-
You've ever had a couple of those ones where they can't find where it's
Because
gone?
that's what would make me a bit. Because you'd be like, if I
Yeah.
stuff this up,
No,
the
no.
whole world is watching.
Nah, the tap on the inside of the foot like a
Yeah.
league tap
Yeah.
is the way
Tap
to
and
go.
go.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. I like that.
But I think you're just shooting a disposal for it.
No, hats off to North for that win. But West Coast. So
Yeah, and again, the guys who are performing. So this is where, there's going to be another cliff coming with Yo, McGovern,
absolutely,
Gilly, it's
their
not gonna-
hope, and I know this to be true. Their hope is the McGovern Yo collection, and there's other players around that mark. The gap can be bridged between the generation underneath, and they're going to try to keep topping up with players in the middle ranges,
I'm
like
not-
they have with a Jaden Hunt. They've done it a couple of times over the last. Matt Flynn, just 24 to 28-year-olds.
I'm convinced on Hoff and I'm convinced on Reed.
Jinby's been better. Have you not noticed?
Better.
Last 3 weeks.
Yeah, but I still don't know what
He's
the
still a
ceiling
baby.
is.
Better. The question that used to get asked when we were youngsters, will this person be in our next premiership side? If not, they're an asset or dismissed.
Well, I think. Yeah, okay. So you would not put Jinby in that.
No, I'd play him until you make your mind
Yeah,
up
okay.
on what he is. But
Yeah.
they're the only two that I'm convinced on. If I have to, I'm just going to rattle off some numbers to you for games here, okay?
Okay.
Tell me who it is and if you can pinpoint a year.
Okay.
33 and 4, 40 and 2, 28 and 2, 38 and 2, 36 and 1, 40 and 2, 34 and 1, 32 and 2, 36 and 2, 36 and 2,
Is this current
29
player?
and 2, current player from a year that's gone past.
Oh, so not this year.
No, not this year.
What? And these were all in the same year?
Same year.
It's not Dusty's, is it?
Dusty Martin.
Yeah.
Dusty Martin, 2017, the year he won the Brownlow. There's just a handful
Some good
of games.
good games.
That's just a handful. And the ones I didn't read out, for example, are still games like 35 and 0, but 15 clearances, etc. Dusty Martin, 300 games this week coming. Hawthorne, Saturday.
I think, did I see it's a Jack Rewald sit down?
Is it?
I think
No,
it is.
I don't
Is
know.
it?
Is
No,
that what it is?
I don't know. Jack Rewalt promoted something.
He's been promoting it.
And
You
he-
never see Dusty.
You don't know, so I don't. I think it's just it might be just a little.
Big Days of Our Lives.
What do
so
they
without
call
a
it? Is it
person.
autobiography? What's the
Yeah,
one where they
maybe. Yeah,
where
yeah.
they don't actually contribute
A
to
biography.
the
Yeah.
It might just be a biography.
Yeah, okay.
I think you could be right.
Because
Yeah.
he's walking through Richmond.
Yeah, but you never see
And
Dusty.
you don't see Dusty,
Yeah.
nothing.
So they've had a meeting. They got.
But there's one other one where there's like a stool and a light, which made me think it might be. He might be there.
Maybe he brings in all the others.
Maybe that's
Dimmer
Dimmer.
comes in.
Yeah, no.
Trent
the
comes
light
in.
comes on, it's Cochin, Sean Grigg.
Talking about how great Dusty is, but never actually Dusty speaks. They would have had multiple meetings about it. If we don't get Dusty, what are we doing?
Yeah.
All right, well, I've got this idea. I pitched
We'll
this.
just do this.
Jack.
Can you open up? What would a network pay for an interview with Dusty? Give it
For an interview like this,
a half an hour.
For an interview like
Yeah.
for half it, you don't. Look, I don't think the value would be super high.
Yeah, it's
If
tough,
if, so,
tough
if
ad
it was
market at the
if
moment
it was
too.
something controversial, the money goes up. But in reality, and I said this,
No, but we're not just talking about the 300th game. We're covering everything.
Everything.
You've got.
everything. You're allowed
Yeah.
to talk about everything.
Yeah.
There's nothing off limits.
Nah,
That's a good.
I don't know. I reckon you could probably get 100 grand.
100 grand.
I would think so. I just
What would
don't.
streamer pay?
I don't think
we don't have that budget. Our
he'd
content
own-
budget doesn't extend that
he
far.
would own Streamer.
Yeah, we get streamer.
All of a sudden, there's just a picture of Dusty
Yeah.
watermarked on the screen.
Yeah, I'm just making that number up too. Like it depends. I don't see the
Yeah, I reckon you go
huge
north.
value in it right now because as I wrote about this in the West, I don't really need to hear from Dusty this week because he's not going to say anything interesting anyway. He's going to straight battle.
Yeah, but
you'd.
you'd if it was an open like.
I don't need it.
And Dusty's
Okay,
like.
no, so
You'd
what
watch
if we
it.
talk about if he was going to
What
quit?
does Dusty sound like? Tell me.
Deep.
Do you reckon? You don't know.
Imagine
that?
if he
we've
just
heard him
has like.
talk enough.
I can't picture
He's
it.
got that New Zealand heritage. Imagine if
Yeah.
he just has like a full. Oh, g'day guys.
Yeah.
I can't
It's
picture
me,
it.
Dusty.
I can't actually picture it. You can't.
No, I think Brownlow not.
He just like.
He barely spoke then.
No, we spoke to Bruce.
Barely.
Yeah, we still did.
I'm gonna dig
He
it
didn't
up and have a
sign.
There's
listen.
a very.
I'm gonna have a listen.
Yeah, it's deep
Is it?
and gruff.
It would
And
be gruff.
short.
It's definitely going to be gruff.
Yeah. we did a video
You can't have that many
series.
neck tattoos. I mean,
I'd
you will know soon when you
Well,
get
yeah, when I
your
get my
multiple
big
neck tattoos.
Neck tattoos.
I'd say it was a cool little curveball.
If
from
Dusty does a
Dusty,
streamer one, I'll get a Dusty neck tattoo.
who doesn't obviously do a great deal. Remember when he turned up in his underwear doing bonds and stuff?
Oh, yeah, that's
yeah.
right.
I was like, that's a turn.
So I'll give you
Running down the street.
I'll give you a list of guys who hated talking. Buddy,
yeah, we heard
Superstar.
more from Bud than we
Superstar.
did Dusty.
Tony Lockett,
Yep.
superstar. Gary Ablett Senior, superstar. And then throw Dusty in the mix.
Mm.
Four of the best 10 players of the last 30,
Well, there's
years.
probably 1,000 others who's got delisted because they were too scared to talk and nervous. And got
But those
kicked
guys
out.
are like absolute
pretty much.
superstars.
And it's not, those are the ones where it's not necessarily nerves or anything. It's just we don't want to do it.
Is that it? Oh, who are we actually talking about there?
Richmond.
That was Richmond.
Richmond.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, 2.5 minutes on Dusty.
Well, I
didn't give it
got
away.
confused. I got confused at the end. Next.
That's you.
That's
You.
me. Okay, let's go. Is this my last team? I think it is.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I've got Hawthorne as well. Adelaide. All right, this is another underwhelming performance. Richmond
They're
on a
pops.
Thursday night at home.
But again, I
really
think a lot of us saw the inclusion of. Now I've gone blank on them all. Who came back in for Richmond? There's four.
Taranto.
Baker. Was Baker back in? Or was he
Baker
in
played.
before?
Prestiano got injured again.
Yep.
Maybe Bolton was out there with
Nah,
a
I think-
concussion.
Short. Was that
But-
short back?
yeah,
in?
whatever it was.
Was
But
he
there's
Anyway, they were back
four
in.
reasonable
They were
ins,
back in.
and
Yeah.
then there was a few reasonable outs for Adelaide, Crouch. Shouldn't have named any of them to start with, but
Yeah.
there was a little bit of a sign that they were very
Have-
vulnerable, Adelaide.
What happens now? Because I think what happens now is Adelaide go, right, we're not making it, and we're going to start making some changes. Because this is what needs to happen, right? You'd need to start going, these you talked about before with West Coast, these 4 or 5 players, they're not up to it. We need to get more in the door. They played that Billy Dowling kid finally, and he looked okay in moments. Michael Laney had a bit more of a prominent role. Nankervis had a more prominent role. It's your Dawson, Rankin, Saligo. They're the 3 absolute certainties. After that, it's all questions.
Well, they're clearly doing that.
I said
Riley O'Brien.
Saligo was certainty.
Huh?
Saligo was certainty.
Yeah,
He's
in
gonna
terms of
do a job
this is a
for
guy.
you.
This is absolutely a guy.
Okay.
Well, he'd rather not lose this.
I mean,
guy.
I'm saying there's not any other guys that we're sure of.
yeah.
Even Rochelle, we're pretty sure, but we're not sure.
I texted an Adelaide recruiter
Did
yesterday.
you put Michael Lenny in there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, well, yeah, I mentioned him in some.
Yeah, I'm
but
sure
Number-
Michael
he's
Lenny.
our man.
Not a good sign when I just texted Adelaide recruiter, number 22 from Vic Country. Get him. That's all I text him. I was watching 1 minute of under 18s football. I mean,
Looks good.
they've got, as I said last week, who gives them spark?
Yeah.
There's no spunk, I think I used.
They just need a lot more stuff. They're at the moment they are looking like the prime example of a team who had some stuff and then got a little ahead, and now is
hit 'em.
getting the harsh reality that they don't have anywhere near enough.
The coach has re-signed too.
Dropping
isn't he?
Riley O'Brien, bringing in the backup who then gets injured. So what are you doing in your ruck next year? They should go for Tim English if anyone should go for Tim.
Yeah, don't
Oh,
mind that.
hello.
Yeah, who else?
I like that. I'll wrap it up with Melbourne. So, what's the vibe? So I didn't actually write it. How do we feel about Melbourne?
I listened to a podcast on RSN the other day, and there's a guy who's a bit like
Mate, listening to RSN.
There's a bloke like Nick who
He's
does
a vibe guy.
He calls it the vibometer, the vibometer,
There's
the
another
vibometer.
person's pinching our content.
Yeah, the
Oh, mate,
vibometer.
clearly.
Yeah, he's been listening to
No,
our
'cause when we
podcast for years
started-
and goes, you know who's got it together? This guy, this Nick guy.
Yeah,
When we
yeah,
started, I
something.
felt like
Yeah.
I knew more, at least watched more when we
Yeah,
started.
the vibometer. What's happening over there?
So
Yeah.
what would you
So
say
they've just
before
dumped
this game's
everybody.
played? Before
I
this
say they're
game's
going to get
played.
pumped.
Right. So because this is a good
They
little,
won't get pumped.
This is a good little mystery box here. I think Melbourne's going to be better today, and they're going to show up because if they don't, it's not a great sign.
Anyone want a carton with me?
Who wins?
Collingwood.
You think Collingwood wins?
No, I'll take D's.
Yeah, well, I've tipped D, so maybe Nick will do it because he seems to think.
Hang
the
on,
vibes
where
are-
are my
Yeah,
cartons
done.
already?
Yeah.
We don't have any. Didn't you lose one to me as well?
No.
Oh, we're still waiting on the
I'm-
Geelong one. They're looking a bit shaky.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
lost
Oh,
again.
shit.
That's just
They lost
finals,
again.
isn't it?
They lost again.
And I did
That'll
think
be
yesterday when they kicked the first 6, I was like, well, that's
It's
home.
starting
Yeah,
to
too
look.
beautiful.
Starting to look.
But
pretty
also
good.
Sean Darcy hamstring.
No, that's still up in the air. That one.
No, it's not.
The timeline's murky.
The only thing that's up in the air is
timeline's
my
not
elbow.
murky. If
Come
the
on, give us
timeline was
something.
murky, I would have won it.
Give us something.
Have we seen the best of Clayton Oliver? Scrap this year. He has a full pre-season.
He
Do we
needs to get
expect
that.
a 4 or 5 time best and fairest who's young with the first year of his massive contract kicking in to be back to his best, or are we thinking Clayton Oliver is just he's going to be
There's no way to
an
predict
A
that.
minus? Yeah, that's
That's my concern. There's no way to predict it.
What's going to happen in the off-season?
Yeah, I hope that it happens, but who knows? And this is the problem with Melbourne going forward. One of their best 4 players or 5 players, however you want to frame it, there's a massive question mark. So going forward, we don't know. And we know that Gawn is, 32, 33?
What percentage would you say Oliver's off his best at the moment? Just like 30?
Yeah.
30.
I would say it's a good 30, yeah.
I mean, and unbelievably, he's still like a competent AFL player at 70%.
Yeah.
Like, he's still pretty good, but he's not.
If he played in your
they
team,
need him to be right up there.
if a C grader played at his level being a B grader, you go, that's a bloody good find. That.
Yes.
You
yeah.
take that.
Well,
Yeah.
if Saligo ends up being this version of Clayton Oliver,
if
you're like,
it's
that's pretty good.
A plus are down to a B,
Yeah, he's
and
really
you
good.
go, oh,
It's-
God, it's
the
miles
drop
off
is
where
And then you
significant,
notice
yeah.
how much they need him.
Yeah.
Yours, Abe, your last team?
I've got St Kilda.
Oof, geez, we need some more bullets this week,
Yeah,
don't we?
yeah.
How good
So-
we need like 8 bullets.
So
I love
the
that-
vibometer.
I love the post matches where Dimmer's like, "Oh, the free kick probably shouldn't have been paid," and then Ross was like, "Oh, it's a hard job, being an umpire."
Yeah.
It's very- and they were like, "Who's more class?" He's like,
I
the one
did-
who won."
I did put something in our group chat yesterday, which was, I think I've deleted it. Let me go back into our chat. Ross post game about the job Windhager did
Oh, yeah.
on,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
which surprised me. He went to Luke Miller. That wouldn't be
Yeah.
the first person I'd go to,
Yeah.
but he did. Ross, just a little quote here from the boss. You can run a tagger and have team defence. It's mythical to think you can't.
You and
listens.
Ross
He's a listener.
together.
Boss, mate, me and the boss.
Welcome, Ross.
Is this a Mick connection? Because Mick Barlow loves Ross.
Probably.
so
Oh,
probably
Mick
put him
loves
on to-
Ross.
Mate, have a look at what Dave's saying. I reckon
Just
something in
quickly
it.
though, I did see that
Sounded like Ross a bit there too.
Mick Barlow.
Just quickly.
Mick Barlow threw a rough
swallow
bag
doesn't make
and
a
hit
summer.
hit the security guard on the weekend. Flung it to the boundary line. I've never seen a bloke run around, and they posted on Dill Buckley's Insta. I've never seen a bloke at pre-game, quarter time, half time, 3/4 time, post game, wander around thinking 43,000 people were there to watch him. The carry on. I had your binoculars at one stage, just zoned in on him. He was jumping around, rolling, shooting it like a basketball. An absolute knobbery. That's what I
Just wait
say.
till they come back to play Freo at Optus.
Oh,
Imagine
oh.
them.
A testimonial.
Hello. Yeah,
Be a
yeah.
testimonial.
He's so
Walk
bitter.
the
He's so
boundary.
bitter he hasn't done a jumping presentation.
Oh,
yet. I'm so
really?
bitter.
Hey, has
Not
there
really,
ever been
loved
2 more uninspiring wins for a supporter base?
Oh, yeah.
They come over here, they beat West Coast, and then they beat Gold Coast. Are you excited about that as a St Kilda fan?
I was watching Wardlaw on the weekend.
Eh.
He was quite early, but got going. He's a good bet for
Well, no, I'm
rising.
talking about St Kilda.
Oh, St Kilda,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
It's
no.
pretty much.
Just okay.
And
Just keeping the Wolves at bay for a couple of weeks. That's all it is, really, isn't it?
Yeah. And
Jeez,
it's
it was a bad game of footy.
Awful.
and a
those-
bad call late.
Saturday's
100
games
metres
were
off
all
the ball.
close, and they were bad games of football.
Okay, Hawthorne. All I wrote down was Josh Weddle. I know we've loved him for quite a while, but I think this kid's going to be pretty special. I think in the Will Day Josh Weddle
He
combination,
went forward.
yeah, and he built like a brick shithouse,
He is.
and you've just got these 2 absolute A graders. I think for the. I'm convinced
Future.
Weddle's an A grader.
Yeah.
You're a Whittle A grader.
I think
He
so.
will be,
And
I
eventually,
reckon.
not now.
It's only his second year.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I just think he's got all the pieces.
Even when
He's got the
They gave him
desire.
the
He's
number.
tough. He's skill-ish.
confident,
And confidence. He's got all of that stuff. And he's a relatively high pick, so there's a bit of pedigree in there
what
too.
I loved was, and it's fine now, when Deere touched his goal on the line, did you see that late?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It was much needed goal, and Deary touched it, but he laughed it off. You know, a lot of people would be like, oh, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Like he just had a bit of a chuckle. Went and manned the mark.
Because he knows he's got plenty more coming.
But it wasn't. It looked like he was still having fun with
Yeah.
footy, and that's what Hawthorn are doing so well at the moment.
Yeah.
Is it actually looks like fun for a lot of teams out there who aren't the top 2, 3, 4, 5 teams. It doesn't look like fun. It looks like a job, and if
Yeah.
they win, it's saved the bacon for a week. If they lose, they're going to be on the
I
pump.
reckon. I know we brought up Sam Mitchell earlier in the year when they weren't going well. I think they need to.
You bought him up.
They need to. No, all I said
Extend
was.
him already.
All I
You said he
said
was no
was.
You
good as a
sacked him
coach.
earlier.
No, you know I'm a big fan of Sam Mitchell's coaching. All I said to you was, "Are you still confident?" I wanted to
And
get a
what did I
temperature
say?
read. You said yes. Now I think they need to lock him in.
Oh,
I do.
right.
How many years?
Oh, no,
5.
3, 4,
10.
5, or whatever. But
For life.
but there will be teams that come asking the question.
Look at old Rhino trying to get into the tent, mate. Sorry, mate. The tent's full over here.
You would know a thing about
My fat ass is in this one.
You're going to distribute amongst 6 different clubs, though.
But you know, and you can tell that they're real tight. That Vision a Day and Ginnivan last week.
Yeah.
You don't act like that unless you know that it's like not going to be taken.
I still can't work out what was going on in that vision.
Yeah.
Were they having a go at each other?
No,
Were they
just like-
happy? Or
I think they were happy, but that's
Yeah.
what I mean. You can do that and not feel like anyone's going to take something.
The
bad.
celebrations are good fun. They look like
Yeah.
they're having a lot of fun.
Yes, they
Happy
do.
team out Hawthorne.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Have you got one more?
No, and what I'm going to say is next week, because we've got so many teams on the bye, we're going to do our best player in 5 years
Best
and
player.
the
yeah.
wild cards.
Yeah,
Remember, you're going to come with who you think is going to be the best, and then a throw at the stumps.
Good shout.
Throw at
Good
the
shout.
stumps.
It's going to be unusual when I get Weddle, Day, Ginnivan. It's going to be a strange five.
Very
There's
hard.
going to be a theme to it.
Very difficult for you at Hawthorne. Very difficult. Yeah.
Righto. This has been the Hardball Gets AFL show. We'll see you tomorrow for the mailbag.